So, welcome back, everybody. You're on According to Lee. If it's your first time here, I just want to say thanks for jumping in here. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be talking about the Tesla Model Y today. So, this channel, we kind of put videos on there discussing, Tesla, what's happening with it, new things that are going on there. Also, some ratings and reviews and other things that are happening in the world and other things that I'm seeing, using, you guys are seeing, using, you guys are suggesting in comments, that sort of thing. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back and listening. As always, if you guys have any questions, throw them down in the comments. I jump on there and answer every question that we have or that comes through or anything like that, or at least everyone that I can get to for sure. And then make sure to hit that like button. Kind of helps me know what sort of videos you guys are liking to see or wanting to see. And then if you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing. I put much, content in here. Right now I'm putting it in pretty frequently. I'm gonna at least get it in weekly. At least that's my plan. And then anytime anything comes up, I'm gonna get it in there. So without further ado, we'll just jump right into this. Today we're gonna be talking about why I bought a Tesla Model Y versus any other vehicle out there. We'll start with the price. First of all, the price is not cheap. It's not a Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla level price by any means. I mean, I'm gonna throw that out there right in the beginning. It is not cheap. It's not free by anything like that. So if you guys were thinking of getting a sub 20K car, this is not the one for you. Now there is a Model 3 that's pretty close, but you're about 30, 35, which is pretty good for an electric car with its performance level that you have there. But we were looking for a little bit more space. Needed something, with 5-seat capacity, which obviously the Model 3 has, but we also have a dog. We like to put him in the back so he's not, licking our baby the whole time, stuff like that. And then of course the baby with the carrier, the car seat, everything that it takes to carry around a baby wherever you're going. She's 13 months old, so I guess a toddler. So we needed a little bit more space. I'm 6'5", as far as height goes, so I wanted to make sure that I fit in there. Spoiler alert, I do. I fit in the Model 3 as well. But I just wanted to have a little bit more cargo space for everything else we have. So we were really angled towards the Model 3. I'm super excited about everything that Tesla's doing, which was a huge kind of push in the direction of Tesla for our first electric vehicle, right? So we've only had the internal combustion engine vehicles my entire life, which isn't really uncommon. I think a lot of people go down that road. However, in our case, we were just kind of looking towards, what's new and exciting, the next thing, really considering our carbon footprint, for example, the environment and stuff like that too. But I wanted to have something that is exciting to drive, something that's fun. And there's only a few cars that even come close to driving excitement that you get from driving a Tesla. That instant acceleration, that instant torque that you get from pushing the gas, is just not seen in a normal vehicle that you're going to buy. Certainly one that I'm going to buy. Maybe something like a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a souped up Porsche, something like that is going to give you that level of excitement, but well out of my price range, not something I'm even looking for. And then try to fit a baby seat in the back of a Ferrari. It just doesn't happen. So we really kind of angled towards this. It's got the space, it's got the excitement to drive that it has. It's an electric vehicle, which is something that we were looking forward to. And then on top of that, just the Tesla, I mean, the styling of it looks great. We like the way that it looks. We like the way that just the way that it drives and just kind of the overall feel for it. So those are some of the things that pushed us towards it, pushed us to why getting this. Now, we'll go back to the beginning, like I talked about the price, right? So it's not Toyota Corolla, it's not Honda Civic, and not to call those out specifically, but I know that you can get a vehicle for a lower price point. We drive a Volkswagen Passat now, currently, as our vehicle, and I know they make a Jetta, obviously, the Volkswagen Jetta, you can get it for sub 20. So from that standpoint, you can certainly get cheaper vehicles. Now, as far as the Tesla lineup goes, the Model 3, you can get it to be the cheapest at around 35. The Tesla Model Y, we have the long range. We didn't get the performance. It was an extra 10,000 for that, so we didn't get the performance, but it's going to put you close to 50. I mean, it's not like it's cheap by any means. However, everything that added into it kind of brought it down to how much you're saving on gas, no maintenance for it as far as oil changes, that sort of thing, and things like that just kind of add up really quick. So not that it's free to charge at home, because I know that it's not. It's going to add into our power usage at the house and our kilowatts, everything like that. So there is a charge there. So it's not like it's a zero charge kind of vehicle. Though my wife is going to be driving it predominantly as a work vehicle. I'm going to be driving it for video purposes and everything else that we're doing, my tests, reviews, that kind of thing. Her office has free supercharging. Well, supercharging is free destination charging. My office has free destination charging. So that there would help kind of technically make it a lot cheaper. We were spending, when we both were driving to work, I was spending about $30 a week in gas. She had a different vehicle that used a little bit more gas. She was spending about $50 a week in gas. She was driving a little bit further as well. So when you add up those costs, the gas per week, even if you're using my vehicle, I mean, you're getting another $120 a month in gas usage. Plus, spending $100-something a year in oil changes, plus the regular maintenance that you have to pay for in a gasoline vehicle. You kind of add all that together, and then it drops your payments down a little bit. Now, we finance the vehicle. We do it on all of our vehicles. We feel like we can use the money a little bit better than we could if we paid it all up front. And then on top of that, we don't have $50,000 to pay out up front. So it kind of balances itself out. But nonetheless, you take your monthly payment, you drop down the $120 you're spending in gas in the other vehicle, the $100 a year in oil changes, because we only had to do it once a year, and you split that out over 12 months, it drops your payment down quite a bit. And in fact, in the end, it actually is pretty close to what we were paying for our Volkswagen Passat. And then on top of that, we had two Volkswagens at the time, and we were paying for both of them. The Volkswagen Passat's paid off. We sold the other vehicle because we're both working from home during this pandemic. And now when you add the Tesla into it, you take off the cost of gas, all that other stuff we were talking about, the payment that we're not paying for, and it's actually pretty close. The payment breakdown is actually pretty close to what we were paying in our Volkswagen Passat, or our Tiguan even, that we just recently sold. So the cost is actually relatively low, or relatively balanced, I guess, in a sense of, looking at the other vehicles that we had. So, the challenge with it is that we purchased the vehicle, we went out there and buy it. Now, essentially we had to buy it sight unseen. There's no inventory at these dealerships, which are actually showrooms. There were a couple of them there, but that wasn't really for you to buy, especially not the Model Y, since it just came out about 4 months ago. And so we really had to buy it sight unseen. We did get the opportunity to test drive it, which was great because they had one that you could test drive. It was a little odd during the pandemic and, keeping it clean and stuff like that, but we jumped into it and we did take it for a quick test drive. I knew I was going to love it. My wife loved it after she drove it, which was great. And then we placed our order almost immediately, and then you just wait. We've been waiting about 6 weeks, well, actually about 4.5 weeks or so. I just got a text message today saying that it's coming first week of September. So we'll be right about the 6 weeks. Now they promised, or I guess hinted at, 4 to 6 week time frame for the arrival or the delivery of the vehicle, which in the end they're following pretty close to. It seems like it's right in line with what they were saying. Now they had a plant shutdown back in April, May, which slowed down production. That's right when they launched the Model Y. It came out in March. So they were having delays of 8 to 10 weeks. So they've definitely caught up. They've re-ramped up their production. They've gotten back in line where they're supposed to be, where they want it to be, which is great. Which is great news for us. So we're super excited for it. We've, like I said, got another couple weeks to wait, and then we'll have it there. But I really wanted to talk about, like I said, why we went for it, styling, the prices where we wanted to be as far as what we were looking to pay, electric vehicle, environment, all that sort of stuff. And then, jumping in with our friends had a Tesla and they really enjoy driving. I love driving as well. So it was something that, I'm excited for in addition to that. And like I said, we financed the vehicle. We financed it at 100%. You get those added fees. There's a destination charge in there, $1,200 no matter what. There's taxes in there, of course, which is no surprise. So that kind of stuff is added on top of it too. But like I kind of talked about, our payments are pretty close to what we were paying before, and it was for a Volkswagen Tiguan versus, which we loved that car as well, but versus the Tesla Model Y. So to us, it just made sense. It kind of fit within the budget that we were looking to spend on it. It fit within what we were looking to get from a vehicle because it had to be functional, it had to be practical, and then we're just excited about it. There's some things, I'm going to give some reviews and ratings as we move forward, real life experiences, because, we don't live in California. There isn't superchargers everywhere like you see in some of the, some places out west. We have some remote areas, a toddler, a big very large golden retriever that we have with us, so I'll be talking about bringing that around with the practicality of the vehicle. We have family in Montana, we have family in Maine, so you know, destination road trips between the two of them, we'll kind of talk about that as well, just to give some real world practical experience on it, because I wanted to make sure that everybody is gets the honest reviews on it, I guess, how comfortable. And then on top of that, like I said, I'm tall, I'm 6'5", so is it actually comfortable to drive in this vehicle? So I wanted to talk about that as well, and I'll get into that once we get down the road, and I'll give some more reviews. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, throw them down in the comments. I broke down the actual line by line items in a different video as far as the cost goes and stuff like that, but just wanted to make sure and get this out there. Go ahead and hit that like button if you like seeing videos like this, want to see some more. If you haven't already, think about subscribing to it, just so you can stay on top of some of the content that I put out there. But I hope you guys have a great day and stay safe out there.